Hey everybody, it's Cory, Ballad. I'm back again with another video. Go ahead and do all the good things that you do on YouTube. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, share the video on other platforms, visit my other platforms. Go ahead and check out my blog. I have my free ebook. It's called I Have Done Enough. It's by Cory Ballad over on my blog, corysound.blogspot.com. I'm going to do another reaction video, review, whatever I call it. I can't ever remember. This one is about the episode of Rock Legends, and it's about Stevie Wonder. Good old Stevie Wonder. Yeah, so let me just get right into it. Make this video kind of quick. I think I finally cleared up some space on my phone, but this video is still going to be quicker because I'm going to do a couple of videos today. But anyway, it might be, I don't know, because I don't know. We're going to see. I think it's going to be quicker. So Stevie Wonder, he was born in Michigan, and he was born blind, and he moved to Detroit at the age of 4. His parents divorced, I believe they said, and then his mother moved them to Detroit. And Stevie, he was a prodigy, a child prodigy, a musical prodigy. He started singing in the church. He started learning how to play the guitar and the harmonica and the piano by the age of 9. And then he had a friend who was named John, and they formed a group, Stevie and John, and they started singing on the streets in Detroit for money and stuff. Hold on, my arm hurts. Ooh. Okay, let me get back. Yeah. So, what was I saying? They started singing in the streets, and then they were seen by Ronnie White, who was a member of the Miracles, which was the singing group with Smokey Robinson. He found Stevie, and he took him to Motown, and they signed him. Barry Gordy signed him, gave him a record deal on Motown, and they named him Little Stevie Wonder, and that's how he got his name, Stevie Wonder. His real name is Steveland something else, but they called him Little Stevie Wonder. Okay, so then, he started recording. He was having trouble finding. They were having trouble finding hits for him. So he was recording and stuff. He recorded 2 albums, I think they said, and it wasn't making too many hits. Then they tried to put him in some movies and stuff like that. They were still trying to figure out what to do with him. He had his first single that was successful was Fingertips, which was a live recording, and actually they said Marvin Gaye played on the drums on that. Didn't know that. Okay, so after that he had a hit, right? So then he started into a transition period. I'm reading my notes. It says transition. And he wasn't getting hits, and his voice was changing, and he was going through puberty, and the record label didn't know what to do with him. Some of the people on Motown wanted to drop him, actually. Then there enters Sylvia Moy, who was a producer at Motown during the time, and she helped Stevie out, and she started working with him, and she was able to capture a sound that went well with his changing voice, and make songs that worked for him, and he was able to break out and have several hits during that time. And then he also, during that time, this is when he was becoming an adult. He was getting close to an adult. He was a teenager. He was 17, 18, and stuff like that. He started writing for other people on Motown. I know he wrote, are they the Four Tops or the Spinners? I think it's the Spinners, because I watched their Unsung. But one of those groups that sing It's a Shame, he wrote that. I don't remember that. He wrote a lot of stuff. He wrote, they said in this particular episode that I'm speaking of, he wrote Tears of a Clown for Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, which I didn't know that. and he started writing. But this was after that. This was because they were talking about in the '60s. But I know he just wrote a whole bunch of stuff. He wrote in the '70s, like he wrote "Tell Me Something Good" by Rufus with Shaka Khan and all that stuff. So yeah, he was developing as a songwriter and a singer and an artist during this time. So his contract was ending at Motown, and it was time for him to renegotiate his contract. He had had some hits, and he was growing as an artist and a writer, but he wanted to have more control as an artist and become a more self-contained artist and a more experimental artist. Because at Motown, we know it was very strict. I talked about this in some of my other videos already, like the one I just did about Marvin Gaye, how he was wanting more creative control, and he had to protest to get it and stuff. So, Stevie was doing something similar. He was having a creative issue. He wanted to be more in control creatively. So, it was time for him to renegotiate, and he had became an adult. He was first signed. His mother, was in control, and they had put all his money and his royalties away in a account for him that he could get when he became an adult. So he went away before he re-signed his contract, and he got his money, and then he took some of it and he started recording. He recorded 2 albums actually before he went back to Motown to re-sign, and he just came back with these 2 albums. And this is the beginning of his creative renaissance, like when he started to become, he came into his own as an artist, and he entered his what people consider his classic stage. Like he has several classic albums during the '70s and early '80s that are considered some of the best albums of all time. So yeah, so he was very groundbreaking. His contract was groundbreaking in that he got a large songwriting royalty, which was not heard of during that time, because he wrote everything apparently, obviously because he did the albums before he was even signed back to the label and stuff like that. He was married to Sarita Wright, who was working in the music industry, and she was a singer at Motown, and she did some background vocals and stuff on Stevie Wonder's albums during that time, and they wrote together and such. And they wrote these albums that they went back to Motown with. So yeah. He just started recording. He started going on his creative thing and recording more albums during the '70s. And it said he recorded the classic albums like on this what is this program. He showed that he won album of the year like 3 times in a row, I think it said on this particular one. During the '70s, Talking Book, he released Talking Book, Intervisions, Fulfilling This First Finale, Songs in the Key of Life. What was after that? Hotter Than July and all that stuff. These are considered his classic albums, and they're some of the best-selling albums ever. He won an Oscar for I Just Called to Say I Love You, which was in The Lady in Red, which was a movie in 1984. He won an Oscar for that, and he started collaborations with a whole bunch of people. Paul McCartney, Michael Jackson, Barbra Streisand, Whitney Houston, the Beach Boys, So that was during the 80s. And then in the 90s as well. He didn't release any albums. Too many albums during that time. And I think he might have released a couple albums, 2 albums in the 90s. But then it said he had went on a 10-year break where he didn't release an album until 2005. So, yeah, he started just collaborating with a whole bunch of people, and he came back, recorded an album, won a Grammy for that, and just started continuing on with his collaborations with other artists. So he still collaborates with the new artists today, Ariana Grande, and just a whole bunch of people he collaborates with. I know Shalea was talking about she worked with him. Yeah, he just works with everybody still, and yeah, he is one of the highest selling artists ever, and he is very influential and game changing as far as creativity and control of creativity and all that stuff. He heavily inspired Prince to be in control of his creations and like producing and stuff like that, because he played instruments, a whole bunch of instruments on his albums as well, and later on Prince would do that. He inspired people as far as vocals. Some of the greatest vocalists have cited him: Whitney Houston, Jamie Foxx, and Mariah Carey, and just everybody. He's influenced nearly just about everybody in music and collaborated with a whole bunch of people and taught us a whole lot. So there you go. Rock legend Stevie Wonder. I made it quick. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe to my channel, visit my blog and read my new ebook. It's called I Have Done Enough. It's free. It's over on my blog. All the information is in the description, and it's also on my page. Visit my community tab. I got pictures there I don't show other places, poems I don't show other places, rants I don't, a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, just go ahead and check out all my stuff. Thank you for watching. I'll be back soon. Let me do the outro. Do 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 do. Very aggressive this time, huh?